Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the fish game. Now, has your experience with playing Subnautica gone something like this? I don't want to play anymore. Yeah, look, we've all been there. Some time ago, I used the power of mods to make Subnautica not scary, or at least less scary. But unfortunately, since then, the 2.0 update happened, and thus some of those mods are no longer available. But today, I decided to take upon the quest of seeing if we can achieve a similar result in Subnautica 2.0. So let's do this. Also, guys, we have a bacon plushie in the works. If you want to keep up with the news, link is in the description. Nothing like emerging back into this world. At first glance, you might be thinking to yourself, this looks very vanilla and very terrifying. And you're not wrong, but let me walk you through a list of things that we can do to make it slightly less scary. First things first, imagine you have a base. And imagine that inside of this base, you have a bed. This isn't the scary part yet. This isn't an uncommon configuration, and you might have bases like this in several places around the world. Now the thing is, traveling between these bases, that's where the real horror happens. So what if you didn't have to do it? Well, luckily... luckily, we have the bed teleport mod. What this lets us do is hold shift, now click teleport, and it will actually give you the option to teleport directly between the beds in your bases. Like so. Now, you might call this cheating, but I call this that this game is scary. Of course, with the ability to name your beds, this makes it extremely easy to manage even if you have multiple bases. Anyways, cool little start, and probably helps with the scary factor. And next up on our list, I'm not gonna lie to you, one of the things that scares me the most in the game are leviathans. And one of the things the leviathans love to munch on the most is your sea moth or your vehicles. But what if there's something we could do about that? Well, luckily, here we have the sea moth stealth modules, MK1, 2, and 3. Now what these do is they effectively make your sea moth undetectable to leviathans, unless you're within a certain very short distance. This sea moth, for instance, has now been rendered effectively invisible, and should protect us unless we get closer than 40 meters from a reaper. Now that doesn't mean swimming past them won't be scary, but it definitely means that if you are somebody that often needs to slip through scary territories, like the dunes for instance, this will make that much easier and will give you some peace of mind. Now I'm gonna disable the fog on this one just so we can see, and on the right you can see a very helpful widget that actually shows you the distance to the reaper nearby. Now as long as I remain no closer than 40 meters, I should be alright. So let's see, I'm gonna kind of just gently swim around the area. I mean, look at that, the reaper really does not care about me. We are getting kinda close though. Definitely still have to be careful with how I keep my distance. Now if this was with fog on, it would become a bit harder, but luckily the distance to the reaper is a helpful measure to know when it is coming. Ooh, like this. Pretty neat, especially if you live in a very leviathan-infested waters, let's say. And you know what else really helps eliminate fear in this game?
Weapons.
I mean, the Cuddlefish. This little buddy right here has gotten me through... hello?
I have seen all of your sins.
Anyways, I was saying, this little buddy has gotten me through many adventures, and it always makes me feel so much better to have one nearby. But the thing is, what if he gets lost? Well, luckily, that is where Cuddlefish recall comes into play. Right now, my little buddy is following me, but if for some reason he wasn't, I could simply click Ctrl R, my Cuddlefish would be recalled, and he would appear right next to me. Like there, he's pretty far, and boom. He's right here. It's a neat little mod, and it helps to make sure that you don't lose your little buddy. Oh, look at you, how cute you are. Now, what you might have noticed is that I am now in a much less pleasant location, and that is because our next mod requires some more reapers. By default, the Stasis rifle has one glaring issue, and that is that even when you do freeze an enemy, they can still attack you if you get close to their head, effectively still making it pretty scary to approach them, if for instance you want to scan. Well, luckily, the Stasis rifle fix mod just basically fixes that. Yeah, not much to it. There's a Reaper right here. Looks like he really wants to be stasis rifled. Even if I now do the cardinal sin of swimming right in front of his face in a sea moth, he is powerless to do anything about it. Anyway, I think this one is super nice. It doesn't really matter if you're into the whole Leviathan hunting thing, or you're just a researcher who wants to kind of scan everything. But I think we've had plenty of nice to haves by now. It's time to bring in some big hitters, because even with all of this in place, well, let's be honest, the game is still pretty terrifying. Well, luckily, one mod that has gotten ported to Weapon X is the random creature size mod. This has been a lifesaver on many occasions because it essentially allows you to pick a range of size modifiers that will change how large or small creatures are by default. For instance, I can set the minimum size to be 10%, and also the maximum size to be 10%. Now, right now it might seem to you like there are no more creatures in this world, and that's not really the case. The thing is just that they are all quite small. Oh, look at this little gasopod. Oh, it is so cute. Okay, what would a sea dragon look like? I mean, this is about as big as you can get. Aw, oh, he's kind of cute. That reef bag did not get shrunk. Look at that little thing. I think last time I called them angry pool noodles. And yeah, that seems pretty accurate. What about a Reaper? Oh, look at this little thing. I mean, they are exceptionally fast, but they're very, very small. Wait, is this a reef bag? Of course, none of the plants decreased in size. Oh, this poor thing, it's carrying so much. Oh, that's actually adorable. I don't know about that one. That one just resisted everything. I'm really having trouble telling apart what fish is what because everything is so small. Well, the ghosts didn't exactly decrease in size. They look about the same, to be honest with you. Or maybe there's just something unique about these ghosts that gets overwritten, hard to say. Anyway, if you prefer to be facing pool noodles over the regular size leviathans, this is definitely a mod you should be checking out. But now finally, what if just shrinking a specific creature is not enough? What if you have a personal vendetta? What if you have decided to completely remove a specific creature from the world? Well, luckily for that, we have the Manage Creature Spawns mod. Yep, this one has been ported too, and it is awesome. What you're gonna have to do is a little complicated. You're going to find the generatesettings.html file and double click it. When it opens up, you're going to click the Add New Creature button. Here you can pick from a long list of what you want to delete from the world, for instance. I think we all know where this is going. And you know what? Not only am I not feeling the Reapers, there's another one that I'm not feeling. Or maybe several, don't sue me. Now, once you're done with this, you can click Generate Settings, and this will give you a big old list of stuff to copy. You're gonna select all of that, and now you're going to find the settings.xml file, and you need to open it with a text editor. Once you've done this, what you should do is just delete everything from in here, and paste the newly generated text from your browser, like so. Now, if everything worked out well, we should be good to go. Now, if we did everything right, this world should feel a lot more safe now. Now, I did return most of the creatures to their original size just so we can check whether this really works well, so you should be able to see a lot of other fish. But let's for example go into, I don't know, a dangerous location like the Jelly Shroom Caves. If I'm not mistaken, there should not be any crab snakes here. And look at that. Look how peaceful this place is. You can swim around, just enjoying the beautiful nature, no spooky sounds to hurt you. No spooky creatures to hurt you. I dare say even the back of the Aurora might be safe. Let's go check it out. You know, for once, it is strangely calming going through deep water, knowing for certain that there is nothing below me, because I deleted like all the hostile fish. Now, does that defeat the point of Subnautica? Yeah, you could argue that obviously, but that's not what we're here for today. I have entered the crash zone. I am in what you could consider probably one of the most unpleasant areas in the game. There's nothing here. In fact, if we remove the fog, you can see that there's nothing here. It is so calming and peaceful. Look, something tried to teleport in there. I believe that's a warper, but it couldn't. We deleted them from the world. Even this place, which is definitely among the most hostile areas out here, now it just looks kind of strangely beautiful and calming. You know, no more dragon to just face through the walls, no more warpers to scare the crap out of you. I dare say, guys, I think we've done a pretty good job here. Now, obviously, there are more mods you could consider into this configuration. One I just mentioned in our previous video, for instance, is the volume control. If there are certain sounds in the game you find spooky, like stalkers, gasopods, or crab snakes, you could just essentially mute them. Finally, I want to shout out all of the mods that are making this work. In the background, outside of Bepinex and SML, of course, we have Nautilus by Lee23, and we also have the Configuration Manager. This is actually a pretty neat tool, which lets you manage certain mods that aren't accessible through the regular menu, such as the Stasis rifle fix or the bed teleport, and lets you edit a ton of stuff about them. It looks a little weird, but you open it by pressing F5 and it's super handy. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope some of these mods or any configuration of these helps you play Subnautica without needing a new pair of pants every time you boot up the game. If you like this video, maybe consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. All of those would be very much appreciated. And with that, make sure to go check out the plush, link in the description, and I'll see you in whatever next video I make. Bye bye.